Good morning. Good morning. Okay. Welcome to the home of the Calgary Unitarians. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are in your journey of faith or search for meaning, welcome. My name is Carol Yankee. I use the pronouns she and her, and I currently serve on your board of trustees. Today we are celebrating the winter solstice, and I'm very honored to be one of the participants. We will be burning incense, so if you are sensitive to the smell, you may want to move to the back of the room. For those of you here in person, also there will be cakes and ale, as well as coffee in Wickenden after the service, so please stay. And for those joining us online, please stay on after the service for a virtual coffee hour. And also a reminder that Operation Cookie still needs some volunteers to deliver plates of cookies, so please inquire at their table in Wickenden during the coffee hour. Now, wherever we are, let us remember and acknowledge the traditional territories and languages of all whose ancestors were here before us. We recognize our responsibility to be stewards of this land and acknowledge that we do so in cooperation with the people of the Blackfoot Confederacy of Southern Alberta, comprised of the Siksika, Piikani, and Kainai First Nations, as well as the Tsuut'ina and the Stoney Nakoda First Nation, comprised of 3 bands, Bearspaw, Chiniki, and Wesley. Mohkinstsis, the Blackfoot word for what is now known as the city of Calgary, is also home to Métis Nation of Alberta Region 3. In offering a land acknowledgement, we honor those who have long been her stewards and accept our shared responsibility for being good caretakers. We acknowledge that Treaty 7, signed September 22nd, 1877, was entered into as a collaboration between settlers and Indigenous peoples, making us all treaty people. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Reverend Shelley Thompson, and I am privileged to be the interim minister here at Calgary Unitarians. One quick reminder today is that our Christmas Eve service is on Saturday the 24th at 6 p.m. right here. And we encourage you, if you haven't already, to bring mittens and scarves and warm gear for our mitten tree, which will be donated to In From the Cold. And we certainly wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year if we're not going to see you until the New Year. January 1st is our fire communion, and that will be led here in person as well on January 1st at 10:30 in the morning. And now's a good time to rise in body or spirit and say hello to your neighbors and wave at everybody on Zoom. Hi, Zoom. Hi, neighbors. Hi, friends. Gives me a minute to get cheese. I can never flick it back. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, that's okay. No one cares. So wonderful to see so many people here. Hooray! For a big circle. Thank you, thank you. And we light our chalice today with the words of Susan Cooper. Oops, maybe. So the shortest day came, and the year died, and everywhere down the centuries of the snow-white world came people, singing and dancing to drive the dark away. They lighted candles in the winter trees. They hung their homes with evergreen. They burned beseeching fires all night long to keep the year alive. And when the New Year's sunshine blazed awake, they shouted, reveling. Through all the frosty ages, you can hear them echoing behind us. Listen. All the long echoes sing the same delight this shortest day. As promise wakens in the sleeping land, they carol, feast, give thanks, and dearly love their friends, and hope for peace. And so do we here, now, this year, and every year. Welcome you all. Let us worship together.
Welcome Yule. Welcome Yule. Welcome Yule. Now you're probably all wondering, well maybe not some of you who have been here before, why we asked you to bring a piece of ribbon. We're going to use the ribbon to cast our circle. This is a modification of a pagan circle in the Unitarian fashion. And so what I'd like you to do is get your ribbon out and pull it out and then tie it onto the person's ribbon who is to the right of you. So take your end and tie it onto the right side of the person's ribbon who is to the right of you. Does anybody need extra ribbon? The people behind me will be tying it onto. Yes.
Does everyone have? Okay. Need more? Yeah. Thank you, Mitch. And then, hi, sure. Help yourself. And then, Brandis, how am I supposed to do this? Am I in now? I'm in,
You're in,
right?
yeah.
I'm in. Okay, so I'm good.
Yeah, you're good.
More?
Yeah,
What's
that one. It's for a kid who didn't want to tie his ribbon up. He just wants to keep the ribbon.
Of course.
So I thought I would.
Absolutely. Hold the ribbon.
Okay. So once all the ribbon is tied, what I'm going to invite you to do, if the ribbon is all tied together, is take your ribbon in both hands and lift it up high so that we can all see the beautiful circle that we've got. Oh, tie your ends together, folks. Make sure that we have an unbroken circle.
Together. For a second, we're still tying. Not something we do every day.
Okay, are we all ready? Okay, now that we all have our circles tied together, to create the circle, what we're going to do is to lift it over our shoulders and drop it behind our chairs. And that creates our sacred circle. May the spirit and intent brought by us to this holy place in this holy time bless our circle of inclusiveness and fill us with the laughter, wonder, and joy that this season brings.
Right. And I have to go this way to light our beautiful green solstice candle. And it's so chilly in here that I will wish you all a warm welcome. there we go, and our candle is lit. Since the beginning of our human existence, we have all noticed the changes in our natural world. Adjusted to the gifts and challenges of each season. And the winter solstice is historically a pagan celebration. It is believed that in Neolithic times, Midwinter Festival was the last feast and celebration before the deep winter began. Most of the cattle were eaten, and they would not have been fed during winter time, and so it was the only time of year when there was a fresh supply of meat. And the majority of wine and beer made during the year was finely fermented and ready for drinking. And the ancients saw the flow of time as circular, not linear, and the changing seasons were understood as the great wheel turning of the year. To this season, we give the name Yule, the Anglo-Saxon word for wheel. And the green wreaths that decorate our homes are a symbol of this new year and the turning. This year, on Wednesday, December 21st, we gather to observe the turning of the wheel in the Northern Hemisphere, that great gate of winter. We celebrate the solstice. And in the Northern Hemisphere, it's also the longest night of the year. And yet solstice night is a time of greatest darkness. The light is reborn. And after Wednesday, the sun will go stronger and stronger until we reach the longest day for summer solstice. Dark begins to give way to light. Let us then be awake to the night. Let us turn the wheel to bring the light, and let us call the sun from the womb of light.
Please all rise and face east.
This way, right?
Powers of the east, element of air, we call you to this place to join with us in this winter solstice ritual. Grant your blessing to our voices and to our thoughts and to the sounds of our singing. Help us to call forth the new light. All turn and face south. Powers of the south, element of fire, we call you to this place to join with us in this winter solstice ritual. Let your passion burn brightly in our hearts. Help us to call forth the new light. All turn and face west. Powers of the west, element of water, we call you to this place to join with us in this winter solstice ritual. Let your compassion teach us we are all part of one another and how all depend on the light. Help us to call forth the new light. All turn and face north. Powers of the north, element of earth, we call you to this place to join with us in this winter solstice ritual. Let your wisdom teach us hope in the time of darkness. Help us to call forth the new light.
I will now do the invocation of the goddess. I will now do the invocation of the goddess. Holy Mother, great goddess, turner of the star wheel, Holy Father, keeper of the woods, protector of the animals, we honor you and ask your presence in our circle. Grant your blessings to our voices, our actions, our thoughts, and to our singing, our playing, and our dancing. And I will now say the charge of the goddess. I, who am the beauty of the green earth and the white moon among the stars, and the mystery of the waters, and the desire in the hearts of woman and of man, call unto your soul. Arise and come with me, and come unto me, for I am the soul of nature who gives life to the universe. From me all things proceed, and unto me all things must return. And beloved of my face, beloved of God and of men, in this your inmost divine self shall be enfolded in the rapture of the infinite. Let my works and worship then be in the heart that is merry. For behold, all acts of love and pleasure are my rituals. Therefore, let there be strength and beauty, power and compassion, honor and humility, reverence and mirth within you. And you who seek to find me, know that your seeking and your yearning will avail you not unless you know the mystery. And this is the mystery, that if that which you seek you do not find within yourself, you will never find it without. For behold, I have been with you since the beginning, and I am that which is attained at the end of desire. Thus ends the charge of the goddess.
And if you would now bring forward any pieces of greenery so that we can create our green man. And if you don't have any pieces, we got a whole bunch of lovely ones in the middle. Evergreens staying green all year long symbolize for us that life is forever present and renewable. And I'd like to invite anyone who has not done so now to tie their evergreens to the green man. Come forth all, and let us make the green man. It smells so good in here. want? You can, or you can put one in. Oh, okay. I'm just. Do you guys want a piece to hold or a piece to put up? There we go. Okay. Okay, done. Okay. That's okay, I'm just adding. Too many people. There we go. Any green over here? All right. You can if you wish. They smell so good. They smell so good. It's a forest in here. Do you like a piece? There we go. Do you need a piece? Okay. Yeah. Half a tree there for you. Would you like a piece? Yes. Any? There we go. Would you like a piece? Yeah, you can have a piece or you can put it on. I'm just handing out greenery. Yes.
While our helpers are finishing up the bedecking of the Green Man with greenery, we'll learn a little bit more about the Green Man. When we peer into the mythic forest, in the shadows of the mythic forest, a startling face peers back at us. The Green Man, masked with leaves or disgorging foliage from his mouth. His face stares down at us from the roofs, pillars, and doorways of our great cathedrals and churches. He appears on 2nd century Roman columns in Turkey and in Jain temples in Rajasthan. He is found all over England, some parts of Wales and Scotland, and a few rare places in Ireland. He has been seen and noted in Germany, France, Italy, Holland, and is said to be found in Spain, Hungary, and Poland. India and Malaysia have their own Green Man, and although he doesn't seem to appear in Native American or Canadian traditions, he can be seen in his modern role as the bringer of fortune on the walls of banks in New York City and in Chicago. His roots may go back to the shadow hunters who painted the caves at Lascaux and Altamira, and may climb through history. In one of his manifestations through Robin Hood and the Morris dancers of Old England, to be chiseled in wood and stone, even to this day by men and women who no longer know his story, but sense that something old and strong and tremendously important lies behind his leafy mask. One of the earliest English epic poems, Gawain and the Green Knight, may refer to yet another manifestation of the green man as the God who dies and is reborn. He is the green man, Jack in the Green, the old man of the woods, Green George, and many other things to many other men and women. But one important common theme runs through the disparate images and myths: death and rebirth, and the green man that is all life. The green man does more than merely usher in the cold breath of winter to our halls. He brings a challenge to all who would deny the power of the ancient solstice rites. He symbolizes the eternal struggle between the warmth of summer and the cold of winter, between dark and light, and emergence of the world from the death of winter to the birth of new life in spring. He carries a bough of holly as a token of his true nature. The green man, as old as time itself, has undergone an extraordinary transformation over the centuries. Once he was the virtual embodiment of the life force that ran rampant through every green and growing thing. Today, he's recognized as a kind of patron of the ecological movement, a representative of the natural world when humans and animals alike lived in harmony with the rest of creation. He could be the archetype of our relationship with nature. So when we sing, "And the lady bore the green man," we are singing about Our Lady, our Mother, our Earth, who bears the green man as her charge to us to take care. Take care. Our remote ancestors said to their Mother Earth, "We are yours." Modern humanity has said to nature, "You are mine." The green man has returned as the living face of the whole earth, so that through his mouth we may say to the universe, "We are one."
There was a time when the forest covered so much of the earth, and they drove the very nature of folk and story and fairy tale. In fact, the very oldest story ever recorded, the Epic of Gilgamesh, was about a guy that was trying to conquer a forest. Go figure. He didn't. It even led to the Ogham alphabet, a tree alphabet that they say was part of very early Irish Gaelic language. And one of the reasons that the forests flourished so well, ironically, was because they were owned by the kings, and all of the mere common people were not allowed in it. So only the royal people had a right to hunt and take wood from the forest, which kept the forest nice and pristine. And out of this grew the idea of a man who kind of looked after the forest, and they were called foresters. And one of the famous foresters, we think, may have been a man called Robin in a Hood. It says he could have been from a wealthy family and had their lands taken from him, and he lived on the edge of the forest, Sherwood Forest. And he just loved protecting the forest from all the people who came there. But one day, in the midwinter, when winter holds its terrible grip on the leafless trees who were burdened down with snow, and the icy cold wind was blowing, he looked out and he saw this ragged figure moving across the edge of the forest, carrying a bow, which was forbidden. So he got ready to come out and arrest him. Just then he saw this man who was so ragged he looked like a scarecrow in his clothes, and a deer arose just beyond him. And when Robin looked at the deer, just then the man loosed an arrow, and down the deer fell. Oh, so he ran quickly to the man, who was running with his knife like a hungry wolf to that deer. He said, "How dare you kill the king's deer? It is forbidden. You know you will forfeit." "Yes, forfeit my life," said the man. "Will starvation not forfeit my life? And those of my wife and children?" "What? Your wife, children?" "Over there in the hollow tree. Do you not see them moving?" Robin's heart was touched. He knew he could not take this man in. And so this began his life as an outlaw. For as a forester, he was to defend the king's deer, not allow the common man in. But instead, he took him and his family into his house and later fled himself because he knew they would find him deeper into the woods. Though he had many eventually join him, he said, "Let me be captive of the green trees, and my prison be walled with the trembling foliage of summer."
Now is the time in our service when we accept the generous financial support of our members in this self-sustaining community so that we can continue to have Green Man for years and years to come. We love it. And our For Others giving this month is for our Ministerial Discretion Fund, which supports congregants in times of special financial need and enables us to also support any emerging ministries or opportunities that weren't in the budget the year before but just came about. So we certainly appreciate your support. It's the reason we're here, that we all give our time, talent, and treasure to this wonderful community and get to have special celebrations like this. So we thank you so much for your generous gifts. Your donations will now be gratefully received.
All rise and please face north. To the power of the north, we thank you for your presence at our ritual. Let us carry this new light in our heart with wisdom. Please face west. To the powers of the west, we thank you for your presence at our ritual. Let us carry the new light in our hearts with compassion. Let us dream new dreams and weave them into being. Please face south. To the powers of the south, we thank you for your presence at our winter solstice ritual. Let us carry the new light with the passion and power of love. Please face east. To the powers of the east, we thank you for your presence at our winter solstice ritual. Let us carry the new light with new thoughts and new songs. Let us begin now as new light grows stronger.
We thank you, God of the returning light and Goddess who is manifest as the fertile earth, for your presence and for the new light of this winter solstice. Let it grow strong enough to transform our lives. Stay if you will, go if you must. Merry meet and merry part, and merry meet again.
In preparation for the bedecking and beribboning of our green man, I'd like to invite you to reach behind your chair. It might be a little more difficult than dropping the ribbon, but if you could pick it up again and bring it to the front. Blessings and thanks to the guardians and honored ancestors who have witnessed this celebration. May your journeys be blessed. You got it all there? Okay, now what we're going to do is probably we'll start with the people who have the most ribbon behind us and get them to come over the mic and over me and start bedecking the green man. Ooh, thank you. Thank you. And then we'll go this way around the circle and finish and just put it wherever. Just make him look beautiful.
Megan's know how to have a good time. I know, we haven't even had ale yet. chariot, but oh well. We'll figure it out. He's gonna leave a green trail. This is why you're supposed to do this in the forest.
I understand that.
Right? It's a little too cold outside today,
We have
but
to do a little bit of sweeping before we try putting the chairs back.
I know.
Oh,
You know, the artificial tree tops leave needles everywhere too. And yeah, they're plastic. And so when you try to sweep them off, static makes them jump right out of the pan. They refuse to be swept. Oh, go, Mitch.
fell asleep there.
And thus ends our solstice circle. And you've probably noticed that I've taken some pictures of the decoration of the Green Man. If you do not, these pictures may or may not be included in any of our Unitarian publications or whatever. If you do not want your picture or the picture of your children included, please come up to me after and I'll make sure that that doesn't happen. Thank you.
There's our beautiful green man. And so may I say to you all, merry meet.
And Mary part, and Mary meet again. Woo! You're all invited to our cakes and ale time in Wickenden if you're here with us, and online we'll provide the link to our coffee chat for you so you can stay and continue to have good conversation with one another. And we extinguish our chalice with the words of Stephanie Laird. May you find peace in the promise of the solstice night, that each day forward is blessed with more light, that the cycle of nature, unbroken and true, brings faith to your soul and well-being to you. Rejoice in the darkness, in the silence find rest, and may the days that follow be abundantly blessed. If you'll please rise in body or spirit and join us in singing Deck the Hall. It's hymn 235 if you have a hymnal.